What's going on, guys? It is championship weekend. It is Friday. That means the truck series is going to run today. We've got some practice. We've got some qualifying. We've got, well, let's be honest, a lot of great things. NASCAR has brought back the practice and qualifying and all that. A lot of cool news coming through NASCAR. Some pretty big movements, some pretty big shifts. This whole season's been very, very different, obviously. Coming off COVID, having a full season with no practice, no qualifying outside of, obviously, the 6 or 8 events. Very different. We saw lots and lots of winners, which is a first for quite a while, including some first-time winners. We saw some drivers who went out and basically made their seasons. You got Alex Bowman, got 4 wins. That is huge compared to 1 win a year for 2 years, 3 years. Now he's winning. You got Ryan Blaney, instead of 1 here and there, he got multiple wins. So a huge season. Definitely sucks for some of those guys who made it to the playoffs and obviously cannot continue on. But speaking of playoffs, we're going to talk about the championship race. Got some notes here on the top 4, the guys, why they can win these races and why they can't. I'm gonna start with the whys. Why can they win? I'm gonna go from the numbers, car numbers. So obviously, Kyle Larson's going to be the first, and Martin Sherex Jr. will be last on this list. I just decided to go that way. That way it didn't seem like I was favoring nobody or nothing like that. All right, so this is all based on my opinions, based on things I've seen throughout the season, based on some things that I've read, based on doing a little research. I don't like making a lot of videos like this just saying, oh, well, my favorite driver is such and such, so I think they're going to win the championship just because they're my favorite driver. So let's start it off. Before we do, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, get notified. I am doing more videos again. I'm going to do a lot more videos here for the remainder of the season and into after the season, the postseason. So let's get rolling. Why is Kyle Larson going to win the championship? We got 3 reasons here. He's the favorite for the race. In terms of odds, the bet odds are 7-4. I mean, he is the all-time favorite for the season. He has 9 wins. He's got the momentum. He's got the experience so far this season. He is running fantastic. I mean, outside of basically Talladega, he has had a fairly blemish-free season. The last couple of races, they've bit themselves in the butt with some penalties, some stuff like that, but he's got momentum, and he is now officially the all-time lap leader in the NASCAR Cup Series in the modern era. So those are the first 2 reasons, and another reason, and this is kind of goes for the next one, he's got a teammate in the race. So if something goes wrong later on, or if it comes to getting cut a little slack earlier in the race, maybe it gets a little better track position, he does have a teammate in the race. Now let's move on to the 9 car, Chase Elliott. He is the second favorite with the odds of being 7-2. He does have confidence. Absolutely, he has confidence. I mean, he won the race last year. Here at Phoenix, he won the title last year. He is the active current NASCAR champion. So that is confidence that you can't beat. Unless he got wrecked out of the last 7 races or finished up sub 30th, that's confidence you can't beat. But in today's, the way we do things today, he wouldn't be in the championship hunt if that was the case. So he does have that confidence in going in. And again, he's got a teammate in the race with Kyle Larson, obviously. And in my opinion, he's better than this season. He's got 2 wins this season. He's got, I don't want to say subpar finishes, but the guy's got, 10 top 5s? 14 top 5s. Kevin Harvick has 10, and he's had a horrible season in comparison. So he is better than this season has provided. Chase Elliott is a good driver. He's, I'm not a big Chase Elliott fan. I'm not a Chase Elliott supporter. I give credit where credit's due. That's just kind of how I do things. He is better than this season. And now let's move on. Let's go to the 11 car, Denny Hamlin. He has the drive. He has the want. He has gone 16 years. He's been said in some of these interviews with Bob Pockrass and on NBC Sports and all over online. He's got 16 years of experience. He's one of the very few drivers that has made it into the Final Four as many times as he has. Very, very few. Plus, he has the aggression, especially after last weekend. Especially after last weekend, being spun from the lead with just a few laps to go. I think he's got the drive and the aggression to go out and do it finally. Blatant consistency. He's overall second in the points of the regular season. He has been just absolutely consistent all season long, outside of a little blemish here and there, which it happens to the best of them. I mean, Jeff Gordon won, 12 races, 13 races in his best season, but he had DNFs. I mean, it happens. And he's peaking at the right time. He won 2 races already in the playoffs. Gives you a little momentum pushing on into the end of the championship here. Obviously not peaking, and I even consider last week a peak. I mean, he had that race. I don't want to say a guaranteed win if there was no contact there, no bump and rub. That Bowman in that 48 car was really quick, but he had the win essentially in the bag. So, in my opinion, that's still kind of considered peaking. He just had the performance. He had the motivation from that good run. And then let's move on to the final car. That's the 19 of Martin Sherex Jr. He's got experience. The guy is one of the seasoned vets in the sport. He's run this racetrack dozens of times. And they run the track twice a year. So, I mean, he's got dozens of races under his belt, including a win at Phoenix. He is the last winner at Phoenix. So, I mean, that's another huge thing. He's got 4 wins this season. He's got a little momentum, a little aggression behind him. It's been 2017. He was the champion. So, moving on. I mean, he's got the experience. He's got 4 wins this season, making him one of the winningest drivers of the year. He's the last winner, and he's had decent runs at Phoenix over the years. He's had 4 top 10s out of the last 5 races that he's run at JGR. He's had 4 top 10s. That's pretty spectacular. That's very impressive, including a couple top 5s, obviously, especially with the win. So those are all the reasons why some of these drivers can go out and win. Why can they not win? Let's move on to that. What is holding each of these drivers back, in my opinion, and based on some of the facts that I've seen? Let's start with the 5, obviously. He's never been to the Final Four. He has never made it this far in the championship. He's never been a true title contender until this year. That can hurt you. I mean, you don't know what to expect. You've got a team that won the championship last year, a team owner, overall team, obviously not the 5 team, which was the 48 last year, and they didn't really do anything. They didn't make the playoffs. But they've got a team and a team owner and team ownership that has won the championship numerous times, obviously, plus last year. His run at Phoenix aren't fantastic. I mean, he got a top 10 in the spring with a 7th place finish. So he is, he's good. I mean, he's not horrible, but he's not spectacular. And then the final thought on why he wouldn't be able to make it is practice is back. Qualifying's back. He hasn't really had it all year, and that could potentially change everything. That could, going into next year when we're going to have qualifying and practice and all that for every driver, that potentially could change everything this year. I mean, you could have a Kyle Larson that goes winless next year. You never know. Some of these drivers who are used to winning numerous races every year, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, some of those guys, they can go out and win. It's kind of the same with just this race. Going on to the 9 car, I mean, he's, like I said, he's, in the reasons he can, it's better than he has had. He is better than this season shows, but he's also had a poor season. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. 2 wins, and it's been a long time. The 4th of July weekend at Road America was the last time he won. It was the last time he had a real shot to win outside of Bristol, and he made a little contact with Kevin Harvick, and obviously we all know where that went. He's been pretty poor on restarts all season long. Obviously not the worst. He's had good restarts. He's had great launches. He's had some really good restarts, but he's not Kyle Busch. He's not the restart master. He's good, but he's been kind of poor this season. And if this is a drawn-out race, if this is a caution-filled race, I think that could really, really, really hurt that 9 car. And then This is the last one. This is a big one to me. Over the last 2 years, they've made many, many mistakes. Tons of penalties, whether it be on pit road, coming off pit road. He's had, just overall, in the last couple of years, he's had a lot of penalties. And luckily for that team, they've never actually hit him where it really, really, truly hurts. But that team is also known for bad pit calls as well. So I consider that mistakes. This year they haven't really bit him in the ass too bad. There's some that I think that have hit him, but this year is not horrifying, but they still just make too many mistakes. It's cost him wins over the last couple of years too. The 11, Denny Hamlin, history. You can't get that out of your head. He's been a championship contender numerous times, many, many, many times. He has been leading the championship. He has been falling dead, just flat out fourth in the Final Four. He has ended up second in the championship standings. He's never been able to do it, and that stigma can stick with you. If you guys have ever had bad relationships, you don't want to get into the next one because you have a history of bad, unfulfilled relationships. And kind of moving into the Cup Series, into racing, if you've got that stigma in your head and it bugs you and it gets to you, it can get to you pretty hard. Let's not lie to ourselves. Next reason is he's not fantastic in dirty air, kind of all season long. He has passed a lot of cars. So let's just be honest. He passes a lot of race cars. But not his strong suit this year. Could be the setup of the car, could be the rules packages, could be just people are getting better and he's not, or his other teams are getting better and they're not. It could be numerous things, but he's just not fantastic in dirty air. A shorter track, 3 turns, a little smaller, a little tighter, could be different. It could be something that, might not affect him quite as much, but he's not as good in dirty air. He only has 1 win at Phoenix. Even with a decent average in the last 5 years, he's got, 1 win in the last 5 years. 2 total, but 1 win at Phoenix in the last 5 years. And hey, let's be honest. Was it 2 years ago? 3 years ago? It got him into the Final Four winning at Phoenix. So there is that chance, but he does not have a ton of experience winning at this racetrack. The 19 car, Martin Sherex Jr., he's got no momentum. Let's be honest. No momentum. That can, again, the stigma, that can hit you pretty hard. He has a less than stellar performance at Phoenix overall. Not a crap ton of fantastic finishes. Like I mentioned, he's the last winner at Phoenix, but overall just not quite a spectacular running driver at Phoenix. And they've had some penalties. This team has had some penalties, and that can potentially bite. They can bite any of them, but this team has had them. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Am I right? Am I wrong? This video went about 2 minutes longer than I thought it was going to. I figured it'd be about a 10, 11 minute long video. We're closing in on 13:30. So let me know, guys. Make sure you comment. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share with your friends. I'm going to do some more videos. But thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.